going to show you how to make this Dia de los Muertos pillow. It'll be a cute addition to your fall decor, and let's get started.
The yarn I'm going to be using is Bernat Blanket Extra to make my pillow today, just because it's white, fluffy, and it'll take less time to make the pillow. And it requires us to use a 15mm hook, so we're going to be working in a circle. It might be beneficial for you to use a stitch marker to count your rows. Okay, so I'm going to grab my yarn, put it in between my thumb and index and middle fingers, because we're going to make a magic circle. I'm going to wrap it around the back of those two fingers, turn my fingers, and make an X. See, there's an X there. Hold it with your ring finger. Take your hook and you're going to put it in the middle, but it's going to come out right here. So I'm putting it in the middle, kind of stretching my fingers a bit for space. Take my hook and I'm going to grab that yarn. Hold it under. And then twist your hook. So we were like this, twist it up. And then we're going to grab onto that, the bottom of the loop and the magic circle. So hold it together with your other hand. Take out your fingers and hold your yarn like you normally do. Whatever tension is best for you. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is 6 single crochets into the magic circle. So the first one, we start by inserting our hook into the magic circle, yarn over, pull the yarn through the magic circle, and then yarn over again and pull through both of these 2 loops. 1 and 2. There's our first single crochet. Now we're going to do 5 more. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. And now 4 more. Insert, yarn over again, pull through both. Okay, I'll do the last 3. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Now we can see where we started the row at first because we have tail. I flip mine towards the bottom typically. Just keep twisting it. That way I can pull it tight and it'll be behind me. Might be a little hard with the thicker yarn. Just pull it as much as you can, and you can always at the end make it a little bit tighter, but it's basically a knot right there. Okay. So we've done 6. You can kind of see stitches. If you've been crocheting for a while, you probably recognize what the top of the stitches look like and how to count, but if you haven't, they look like these 2 pieces, and it's harder to see in thick fluffy yarn, but there's a line here. There's 2 on each side. That's actually 1 stitch, so you count it as 1. So we're going to go into the first stitch and we're going to do a slip stitch. So I'm going to stick my yarn into the top of the first stitch. So do you see this? There's 2 pieces. By sticking it in, I went through 2 like that. And I'm going to yarn over, pull through, and then I'm going to do the same thing. A slip stitch. So yarn over, pull through, and then pull through again. There we go, slip stitch. Okay, so we've done our slip stitch to close up the circle, and now we are going to do another single crochet into the same spot. And you're going to do 2 single crochets in every single stitch. So we'll have 12 at the end. Okay? So because that was slip stitch, I'm going to do... Oh, actually, if you want, you can mark it. So I can mark this slip stitch like so. Then you know where you started. Okay, now that I've marked where my stitch marker is on the slip stitch that's on my hook, I'm going to do 2 single crochets into the same place that we had put our hook into before. So right here. there's one single crochet. Oops, there's one. And then another into the same spot. We're going to do 2 in each. So we'll have 12 in the end. Okay. I know it's a little hard, but if you push your finger through, you can kind of see where the holes are. Okay, again. So that's 4. This is 5 and 6. We're done with this row. This is 7 and 8. Okay, now we are 9 and 10, same spots, and 11 and 12. Okay. That's my loose string there that I'm gonna have to tighter later. Okay, now we're back. We're gonna do our slip stitch here. So take out your stitch marker, remember where it was, right here, and do a slip stitch. Over, pull through, and over. And there is our slip stitch. So you pulled through both. Now instead of 2 in every stitch, we're going to start by having one more in the same place that we did our slip stitch. So we do 1, okay, there's 1, and then we're going to put 2 in the next stitch. So it's going to go 1, and then 2 in the next stitch, and then 1 in the next stitch, and then 2. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. That was 1, and you can put where your slip stitch was. This was the yarn on your hook here. You could put it on your hook or hand, it might be easier. Okay, so that was 1. Now let's go to the next. We're going to do 2. 1 and 2. One and next stitch 2. 1 and 2. Here again. 1. And it's gonna look kind of kinkier. That's just what fluffy yarn kind of does as it gets tightened. But it's okay because we kind of want that with our pillow, it to not be flat. Okay, sorry. That was 2. This was 1. Next stitch 2. 1 and 2. And then 1 and 2 in the next. And then 1 in the next. And 2 next. Okay, then 1, 2, okay, so we should have 36. And we are going to slip stitch right up here. Okay, I put my stitch marker on the hook, and now it's going to be 1 in the same spot again. That's one. This time we're also going to do 1 into the next. So right here, it's going to be 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. That's 1, 1. Then the third stitch, we're going to put 2. And then 1. And then 1. And then 2. Right. It's 2, that's 1, that's 1, that's 2. Okay. You can kind of look because it creates a V here and you'll be able to kind of see. So that's just 1, that's 2. That's just 1, and that's 2. Okay.
Tell me at the end of the row.
Now I'm going to take my darning needle,
Tell me at the end of the row.
called the yarn
Tell
needle.
me at the end of the row.
And then I'm going to take my
Tell me
thick
at the end of the
yarn
row.
and I'm going to squish
Tell
it
me at the end of the row.
to make it fit through here.
Tell me at the
And
end
then
of
I'm
the
just
row.
going to wiggle
Tell me
it
at the end
on
of the row.
and pull it through.
Tell me at the end of the row.
That's my technique.
Tell me at the end of the row.
And then
Tell me at the end of the row.
this first
Tell me at the end
row
of the row.
of the bottom of the head,
Tell
so
me at the
1,
end of the
2. The first row,
Tell me
we're going
at
to
the
take
end
the
of the row.
second stitch,
Tell me at
that
the end of the row.
double crochet,
Tell me at
and
the
we are
end of the row.
going to go from the
Tell
back
me at the end of the row.
and insert
Tell me at the
right
end of
in
the row.
here. So that's a stitch
Tell me
that we
at the
put
end of
through
the
the
row.
middle.
Tell me at the
Pulling
end of
this
the
through the
row.
middle. Okay, we're going to
Tell me
pull a
at the
lot
end of the row.
so that we have enough,
Tell me at the end of the row.
like that much.
Tell me at the end of the row.
And then we're going to go through the middle
Tell
of
me
the
at the end of the
second
row.
to last one, just like we did
Tell me at the end of the row.
this time from the
Tell me at the end
front.
of the row. Tell me at the end of the row.
Okay,
Tell me at the end of the row.
and now
Tell me at the end of the row.
we're going to go,
Tell me at the end of the row.
we're going to do 3 lines like
Tell
this.
me at the end of the row.
So I'm going to
Tell
go
me
from
at the end of the
here
row.
and hopefully that is
Tell me at the end of the row.
enough. Yeah, at the bottom of a
Tell
stitch,
me at the end of the row. Tell me at the end of the row.
right here.
Tell
I'm going
me
to do the
at the
same
end of the
thing.
row. Tell me at the end
So
of
we're
the
going
row.
to try to pull it
Tell me at the
and
end
we're
of
going
the
to
row.
put it here in the
Tell
middle
me
of a
at the end of
stitch.
the row. Tell me at the end of the row.
Pull through.
Tell me at the end of the row. Tell me at the end
Okay,
of the row.
so there's one.
Tell me at the end of
Now
the row.
again,
Tell me
the
at the
bottom
end
of
of the
this
row.
stitch.
Tell me
So
at the end
right
of the row.
here.
Tell me at the end of the row. Tell me at the end of the row.
And it's not the
Tell me at the
holes,
end of
it's
the
the
row.
actual stitch itself.
Tell me at the
And
end
then
of the row.
again,
Tell me
in
at
the
the end of
middle
the
of
row.
that stitch.
Tell me at the end of the row. Tell me at the end of the row.
Pull that
Tell
tight
me at
so
the
the
end of the
back will
row.
be kind of diagonal.
Tell me at the end of the row.
And the front, whoops,
Tell me
I did
at the
that a
end of
little
the
too
row.
tight. We can pull it out.
Tell me
Like
at the
that.
end of the row.
Okay, and
me at
last
the end of the
one,
row.
bottom
me
of
at the
this
end of the row.
stitch, right here.
Tell me at the end of the row. Tell me at the end of the
Through.
row. Tell me at the end of the row.
And
Tell me at the end of the row.
middle of this one.
Tell me at the end of the row. Tell me at the end of the row.
Okay,
Tell me at the end of the row.
there's the mouth.
Tell me at the end of the row.
Now I'm gonna turn my
Tell me
work
at the end of the row. Tell me at the end of the row.
and
Tell me at the end of
we
the
can
row.
take off
Tell me
the
at the end of the row.
diagonal.
Tell me at the end
I'm
of the row.
gonna tie them
Tell
together
me at the end of the row.
and then tie them together
Tell me
again.
at the end of the row. Tell me at the end of the row.
There you go. And then you can cut off
Tell me
this
at the end
yarn.
of the row. Tell
I'm
me
also
at the
gonna
end of
cut
the row.
this short too
Tell me at the end of the row.
so that it stays
Tell me at the end
hidden.
of the row. Tell me at the
I'm
end
gonna
of the row.
take this long string
Tell me at the end of the
and
row.
just tuck it in there
Tell me
for
at the
when
end
I
of the row.
sew. Okay,
Tell me at the
so
end of
that's
the
the
row.
front face.
Tell me-
Okay, we've just finished row 4. I'm gonna take out my stitch marker. Do a slip stitch where it was. Put the stitch marker on my hook. Now, guess what? We're adding another one in between. So it's gonna be 3 stitches where we put 1 single crochet in each, and then on the 4th stitch we put 2. So it's 1, 1, 1, 2. Okay, so in the same spot, 1. There we go. And then again, 1. Again. The 3rd one, we still have 1. And on the 4th one here, we are going to put in 2 stitches.
2 single crochets in 1 stitch. Okay, so again, 1, 1, 1, 2. One, and here, and 2. I'll meet you at the end of the row. Just finished row 5. I'm going to take out my stitch marker, put it on the hook, and now, following the same pattern, we're going to add 1 stitch of a single crochet between, so it's going to be 4 stitches that have 1 single crochet, and on the 5th stitch we're going to do 2 single crochets. So 1 and do a slip stitch first. Okay, it's right here. There's my slip stitch. Okay, now in the same spot, start with 1. Here we go. There's 1 single crochet. Oop. I was not easy. I had my tension a little tight there. Okay, and now 2 3rd single crochet, the 4th single crochet, and then on the 5th stitch it is 2 single crochets. Okay, so we did 1 and the same as the slip stitch, and then we did 3 more, so 4 total. 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets in 1 in each stitch, and then on the 5th, 2. And you repeat that pattern all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. Just finished the 6th row, so I'm going to take out my stitch marker, and that's the end of the circle. But now we're going to add the bottom of the skull head. So we're going to do a slip stitch where we took out our stitch marker. Then we're going to chain 1. Okay. Actually, let's chain 2 to make this faster. That's 2. And we're going to do double crochets. So you're going to yarn over, you have a yarn over, and then a loop. And then that was going to count as our first double crochet, that chain 2. And then next stitch, you're going to do the double crochet. So we already yarned over. We're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull through. Then you're going to yarn over, pull through 2 of the 3 that were on your hook. And then yarn over and pull through the remaining 2. Okay. Let's keep going until here. So here was our chain 2. It's 1. Okay, let's do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm gonna have 9. So we need 7 more. Okay, 1, 2. Yarn over. This is 3. Okay, this is 4. Okay, this is 5. This is 6. This is 7. Eight. Whoops. That happens. Okay, so we've done 7. This is 8. And this is 9. Okay. So far we have 1 row at the bottom. Let's, okay, chain 1. Chain 2. We're going to chain 2. And And then we're going to turn our work, flip it. And we're going to count that as the first double crochet, so we're going to skip the first stitch and go into the second one, and do it 1 double crochet. Okay, so that way it's straight on the edge. So we didn't go to that first one, go into the second. Same thing, 1 double crochet in every stitch. Take my yarn here. Okay. Let's see, was that the last one? I believe so. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, we need one more. One here. Okay, so that's 9. Okay, so this is what we have. And now on the end of that row, you're just going to fasten off. So yarn over, pull through, kind of pull that out, and then cut that off. And you have the skull head. You can tuck that in too. Your needle at the end, and you're gonna make 2 of these with the same process. So we have 1, now make 1 more. I'm going to make another magic circle, but in black. It might be hard to see this because of the color, so you can always rewatch the beginning of this video to see how we did the magic circle, because we're gonna do the exact same thing. So I crossed the yarn over my fingers, inserted between those 2, pull through, and twist. Now I'm gonna do 5 single crochets into the magic circle. Pulled up, yarn over and pull through, insert, yarn over and pull through. So that's 2. It's 3, that's 4, and that's 5. Okay, now you take the string and you pull it tight. So you can kind of move these over. There we go. And I'm going to do a slip stitch at the beginning here. There's 2 threads. I'm gonna insert, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through again. Tighten that, and I'm just gonna fasten it off. So there's our circle, be the middle of the flower eye. Now we're going to make the petals. So this time you're just gonna do a slip knot on your hook. So I do another smaller X, and then I take the big thread, still holding that, and just put it through the little hole. Okay, and now I'm gonna go next to where I had fastened off, so right here. It'll be easier to see if you're feeling for the little holes right underneath the top of the stitches. And that's where you'll know where to insert your hook. Okay, I'm gonna insert and do a slip stitch. So I have 2, and I'm gonna pull through again. slip stitch, not single crochet. Then I'm going to chain 2. So it's 1 chain, that's 2 chains. And now I'm going to do a double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook to the same place, same spot. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through 2 again. And now I'm going to do chain 2 again. 1, 2, and then we're going to do a slip stitch into the same spot to finish off that petal. So I yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through again. There's our first petal. Now we're going to start every petal with the slip stitch into the next one. So I ended here, right? I'm gonna press my finger until I find a hole, which is right there. So I'm just going like this, and then I found the hole. Okay, so I'm going to insert my hook, do a slip stitch, and then chain 2 again, and then do a double crochet into that same spot. Oops. Okay, redo that. Double crochet into the same spot. Okay, again, chain 2, and do a slip stitch into the same spot. And then pull that through. Okay, it's 2 petals. Again, it's gonna be harder to find the holes. Just put your finger along until you find a hole. So I'm moving my finger and it's right there. So I'm gonna insert, do a slip stitch, chain 2, double crochet into that same spot, chain 2, and do a slip stitch in the same spot. And then do a slip stitch into the next one. So again, pushing till I find a hole, which is right there. Slip stitch, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, and then a slip stitch again, and then a slip stitch into the next one. I push through here. Okay, last one. Chain 2, double crochet into the same spot, and then chain 2. And do a slip stitch. Okay, and then you're gonna fasten off, so just do a chain 1, tighten it, and fasten off. So you cut the top of that loop. Okay, put that behind. I'm gonna take these 2 purple strings and I'm just gonna tie them together so that they're tight. And you just kind of fluff up your flower to how you want it to look. And you can sew in these threads with the darning needle, or you can just kind of hook them through, like pull them through the back so that they're kind of hidden, and then you can just, okay, so I've made 2 flowers for the eyes, and now I'm going to take them and use these long strings here, kind of find the middle on both sides. And I'm going to pull, okay, gonna put these 2 long threads and pull them through. Okay. And then you can either tie a knot or tuck them in through here. Might be better to secure them that way. So I can show you how to do that. I'm just gonna pull through, use my hook to pull them through the back of these stitches. There's one, and then there's another. And now I'll tie them together. Okay. And these threads will be hidden once we sew the two pieces together. So let's do the same thing on the other side. Kind of find the middle. Take the two threads and stick them in. I think that's the middle, yeah. Okay, right here. There we go. That one was a little short. It's okay. Okay. Just pull it as tight as you can. I'm double knotting it. There we go. Okay. We have our eyes. Now I'm gonna take my darning needle, or your called the yarn needle, and then I'm gonna take my thick yarn and I'm gonna squish it to make it fit through here. And then I'm just gonna wiggle it on and pull it through. That's my technique. And then this first row of the bottom of the head, so 1, 2, the first row, I'm gonna take the second stitch, that double crochet, and we are going to go from the back and insert right in here. So that's a stitch that we put through the middle. We're pulling this through the middle. Okay, we're gonna pull a lot so that we have enough, like that much. And then we're gonna go through the middle of the second to last one, just like we did this time from the front. Okay. And now we're gonna do 3 lines like this. So I'm gonna go from here, and hopefully that is enough. Yeah, at the bottom of a stitch, right here. I'm gonna do the same thing. So we're gonna try to pull it, and we're gonna put it here in the middle of a stitch. Pull through. Okay, so there's one. Now again, the bottom of this stitch is right here. And it's not the holes, it's the actual stitch itself. And then again, in the middle of that stitch. Pull that tight, so the back will be kind of diagonal. And the front, whoops, I did that a little too tight. We can pull it out, like that. Okay, and last one, bottom of this stitch right here. Through, and middle of this one. Okay, there's the mouth. Now I'm gonna turn my work, and you can take off the darning needle. I'm gonna tie them together and then tie them together again. There you go. And then you can cut off this yarn. I'm also gonna cut this short too, so that it stays hidden. I'm gonna take this long string and just tuck it in there for when I sew. Okay, so that's the front face. So again, I'm just gonna put the thread through my darning needle, pull, and then I have 2 pieces here, and I'm gonna put one on top of the other, so right sides together. Oh, my cat wanted to join the show. Okay. I'll put her down.
Okay, so I've got my yarn, my needle, and I'm gonna take the two corners together. Go. And just pull a really long thread. That's enough to go all the way around. I think I need more. Okay, pulled it pretty long. Should be enough to get me all the way around. If not, I can just pull it tighter. I'm just gonna do a whip stitch, which is kind of like the twist that goes all the way around. Okay, other, pull through. Okay, again, sticking my needle. Here's where they kind of make sure you're going where they go inwards a little bit, and put those two sides together. Stick it through both, and pull. Just do that all the way around. Oh, my cat's getting my yarn. Shouldn't have your words. I'm filming. No. Okay, I'm just gonna finish this up. I think you can see now what I'm doing. I'll meet you at the end. I'm nearing the end, but I'm gonna leave a hole because I'm going to flip it inside out now. So that way I can stuff the pillow. So I put my hand in, just pull the top. Start filling it with polyfill. And just stuff it however thick you want it. Okay. I stuffed it a little too much. Flattening it out. Okay, make sure everything looks how you want it before you close it up, because you can always go in and pull things through. Okay, now I'm going to close up the bottom, same thing with a whip stitch. Ooh, got some filling there, step it back in. Be careful where you're going now so you don't go in these holes. Okay. Now cut off the long piece. Tie a knot around that. Okay, you can also cut this because there's no. Just gonna tie them together. And I'm gonna stick them all in here. So wherever you can find a hole, stick those loose threads through. And then again, flip it out. And then we'll be done. So after all that, here's the final product. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And please like and subscribe for more tutorials.